On January 15th, 2025, Dr. Stephen Greer, a retired physician and renowned UFO researcher, launched his highly anticipated podcast. But this was no ordinary podcast debut. It was strategically timed, as Greer revealed that he had inside knowledge of an imminent release of groundbreaking information regarding UFOs and non-human intelligence. According to Greer, a group of individuals was preparing to unveil a significant amount of evidence on the extraterrestrial phenomenon within the next 72 hours. Believing that the public needed a reliable source to provide context and interpretation of these revelations, Greer saw his podcast as a necessary platform for framing the discussion. This bold statement has electrified the UFO community, drawing excitement. Many wonder what kind of information is set to be revealed, how it might change our understanding of the UFO issue, and whether Greer's claims will finally bring about full governmental disclosure. The timing of this announcement suggests that 2025 could be a pivotal year in the ongoing debate over extraterrestrial life and the secrecy surrounding it. Dr. Stephen Greer is no stranger to UFO research and disclosure efforts. A retired emergency room physician, Greer transitioned into full-time UFO activism in the 1990s, founding the Disclosure Project, an initiative that gathered testimonies from high-ranking military officials, government insiders, and intelligence personnel who claimed to have direct knowledge of extraterrestrial encounters and covert UFO programs. His goal has always been to push for transparency, arguing that governments around the world have been withholding critical information from the public for decades. Greer has also been instrumental in bringing forward whistleblowers who have testified about secret UFO retrieval programs, extraterrestrial contact, and advanced energy technologies that he claims are being suppressed. Over the years, he has published books, produced documentaries, and held press conferences advocating for disclosure. Given his extensive background and connections, his assertion that a major release of information is imminent carries considerable weight. According to Greer, the forthcoming information will be substantial, containing evidence that could reshape the global conversation on UFOs and extraterrestrial life. Many UFO researchers and whistleblowers have long claimed that governments possess hard evidence of extraterrestrial craft, including crash retrievals and biological remains of non-human entities. If the upcoming disclosure includes verifiable proof, such as authenticated documents, photographs, or even physical specimens, it could force mainstream scientific and governmental institutions to address the reality of non-human intelligence. Greer has frequently asserted that secretive factions within the military-industrial complex have operated black-budget programs involving extraterrestrial technology, often without oversight from elected officials. If the new information includes whistleblower testimonies or leaked documents proving such operations, it could lead to congressional hearings and public demands for greater transparency. One of Greer's most controversial claims is that governments and private corporations have long possessed advanced propulsion and energy technologies derived from extraterrestrial sources. If this information is released and confirmed, it could revolutionize energy production and transportation, challenging the dominance of fossil fuel industries. Given the scope of these potential disclosures, it is no surprise that Greer has positioned his new podcast as a crucial source for interpreting these revelations. He believes that mainstream media outlets, influenced by governmental and corporate interests, may attempt to downplay or distort the significance of the evidence. His podcast aims to provide a counter-narrative that encourages open discussion and critical thinking. The reaction to Greer's announcement has been mixed, with many UFO enthusiasts eager to see whether his claims hold up. Social media has been flooded with speculation about what might be revealed, with some hoping that 2025 will be the year of full UFO disclosure. However, skepticism remains. Greer has been criticized in the past for making grand claims that did not always lead to concrete evidence. Some believe that his latest announcement could be another instance of exaggerated expectations that may ultimately result in disappointment. Others argue that while Greer is sincere in his beliefs, he may be misled by sources providing inaccurate or misleading information. Despite this skepticism, even mainstream institutions have begun taking the UFO issue more seriously in recent years. The US government has declassified UFO footage, and the Pentagon has acknowledged the existence of unidentified aerial phenomena, admitting that some objects exhibit flight characteristics beyond known human capabilities. This shifting landscape makes Greer's claim more plausible than it might have been in previous years. If Greer's prediction proves accurate and verifiable, evidence of non-human intelligence is released within the next 72 hours. The implications could be profound. Governments, religious institutions, scientists, and the general public would be forced to grapple with a reality that humanity is not alone in the universe. If extraterrestrial technology has been reverse-engineered, its public release could lead to major breakthroughs in energy, transportation, and medicine. Governments that have allegedly suppressed this information for decades could face a crisis of credibility. Trust in institutions may erode, leading to calls for greater transparency and accountability. Many religious traditions center on the idea that humans are unique creations. Confirmation of extraterrestrial life would challenge theological interpretations and prompt discussions about humanity's place in the cosmos. Many UFO researchers that have spent years looking into the subject have said that the discussion surrounding unidentified flying objects and non-human intelligence has taken a dramatic turn in recent years, with more mainstream acceptance and official acknowledgement than ever before. This announcement has reignited hopes and fears alike, with many believing that humanity is on the brink of finally receiving confirmation that we are not alone in the universe. The increasing number of whistleblowers, government admissions, and classified document leaks have made the idea of imminent UFO disclosure seem more plausible than ever before. Stephen Greer's announcement comes at a time when the UFO phenomenon has already entered mainstream conversations in ways that were previously unimaginable. In the past few years, several key developments have contributed to the growing belief that UFO disclosure is no longer a matter of if, but when. In recent years, major government agencies, including the Pentagon, NASA, and various branches of the US military, have admitted that unidentified aerial phenomena are real. Reports from the Department of Defense have stated that military pilots and radar systems have captured inexplicable objects moving at speeds and with capabilities far beyond known human technology. The US Congress has held multiple hearings on the subject, with high-ranking officials calling for greater transparency and the declassification of key documents. These hearings, unlike past government dismissals, treat the issue with seriousness and urgency. The credibility of UFO claims has been bolstered by testimonies from military and intelligence whistleblowers. Figures such as David Grush, a former intelligence official, have testified before Congress that the US government is in possession of non-human craft and possibly even biological remains. These testimonies suggest that hidden UFO programs exist, raising questions about how much the public has been kept in the dark. Greer himself has long claimed that he has first-hand witnesses who can confirm the existence of extraterrestrial contact and advanced technologies that have been withheld from humanity. His recent announcement suggests that more insiders are ready to come forward. Over the past decade, there has been a steady release of once classified documents that confirm the US government has taken the UFO phenomenon seriously for decades. These documents reveal secret investigations, recovered materials, and cases where unknown craft have interacted with military personnel. If Greer's announcement is correct, the upcoming disclosure could provide even more compelling evidence, possibly in the form of physical materials, high-resolution imagery, or undeniable testimonies. If a major UFO disclosure event occurs soon, it would have profound implications for various aspects of human civilization. For decades, reports of unidentified flying objects were dismissed as theories or the imaginings of over-enthusiastic believers. Eyewitnesses, often civilians or lower-ranking military personnel, were ridiculed and their credibility questioned. However, over the past few years, the conversation around UFOs has shifted dramatically due to a series of high-ranking military whistleblowers coming forward with claims that the United States is in possession of UFOs. These individuals, many of whom have held top security clearances and worked within the military-industrial complex, have provided testimony that has significantly added weight to the notion that extraterrestrial or non-human technology is being secretly studied and reverse-engineered by the US government. The change in tone has been so significant that congressional hearings have been held, major news outlets have covered these disclosures with seriousness, and government agencies have been compelled to address the issue. This represents a stark contrast to past decades, where UFO discussions were relegated to the fringes of public discourse. The credibility of these new whistleblowers has forced both the public and officials to take the matter more seriously, raising questions about what the government truly knows about UFOs and why this information has been kept from the public. One of the most high-profile whistleblowers in recent years is David Grush, a former US Air Force officer and intelligence official who worked with the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force. Grush made headlines in 2023 when he testified before Congress that the US government is in possession of intact and partially intact non-human craft. He further stated that classified programs exist that have been reverse engineering these craft for decades, hidden from public scrutiny and even from elected officials. Grush's testimony was significant because of his background and the official capacity in which he worked. Unlike past UFO witnesses, who were often dismissed as unreliable, Grush had access to classified information and was responsible for investigating UAPs on behalf of the US government. His willingness to testify under oath before Congress suggested that he was serious about his claims and willing to face legal consequences if they were proven false. In addition, Luis Elizondo, the former head of the Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, has repeatedly stated that UAPs display flight characteristics that defy modern physics and that the US government has been studying them for years. Elizondo resigned from his position in protest, citing excessive secrecy and the lack of transparency regarding UAP research. With individuals of such high rank and experience speaking out, the credibility of UFO claims has been transformed. These are not amateur skywatchers or alien enthusiasts. They are trained military professionals with first-hand experience in dealing with these objects. Their testimonies have prompted serious discussions among policymakers, scientists, and defense analysts. The growing credibility of UFO whistleblowers has led to an unprecedented level of governmental engagement with the topic. In July 2023, Congress held historic hearings where David Grush, David Fravor, and other witnesses provided sworn testimony regarding the existence of UAPs and secret recovery programs. Legislators, including Senator Kirsten Gillibrand and Representative Tim Burchett, have pushed for further investigations and increased transparency regarding classified UFO programs. Additionally, the Pentagon and NASA have both acknowledged the existence of UAPs, though they have stopped short of confirming the possession of extraterrestrial craft. In 2022, the Department of Defense established the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office to investigate and analyze UAP encounters. This represents a major shift from previous decades, where the government largely ignored or downplayed such reports. The fact that official agencies are now openly discussing UAPs and allocating resources to study them suggests that the issue is being taken more seriously at the highest levels of government. This also raises questions about what has been known behind closed doors for years and why disclosure is only happening now. If the claims made by Grush and other military whistleblowers are true, the implications are profound. The idea that the US government has retrieved and studied non-human craft suggests that humanity is not alone and that advanced civilizations may have been interacting with Earth for some time. The fact that these programs have allegedly been kept secret for decades also points to a massive cover-up that could shake public trust in government institutions.